Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. The new turn tonight, what the NYPD has now discovered involving the suspect in the murder of that CEO. Tonight, what we've learned involving evidence, what the NYPD now says about the murder weapon and about a notebook full of writings. Also, the suspect's friends from high school, when the suspect's mother reached out to police, and what we've learned about the family tonight. Also, why authorities are now concerned about people on social media appearing to celebrate the suspect. Aaron Katersky with new reporting. Also breaking, FBI Director Christopher Wray's abrupt resignation announcement amid pressure from President-elect Trump. The powerful storm slamming the East Coast, heavy rain, damaging winds and flash flooding from Philadelphia to New York City up through New England. In the West, the fire in Malibu burning out of control. Dick Van Dyke among those evacuated. Tonight, two brothers, top real estate brokers from New York City to Miami, now arrested on federal sex trafficking charges, what authorities allege they promised, and then what they're accused of doing over many years. Lawmakers sounding the alarm tonight about the mystery drone sightings across the Northeast. Drones coming in off the ocean weeks now. How is it authorities have no idea who's behind it? And authorities now reacting tonight after a lawmaker claimed it's Iran. James Longman with the haunting images from Syria tonight, the fall of President Bashar al-Assad, and now the difficult images posted outside the morgue. James with the families looking to see if they recognize the bodies now recovered across Damascus. Back in the U.S. tonight, the husband and father of three accused of faking his own death that led to a massive, costly search. Tonight, now home from Europe, where police say he went to meet another woman, now facing charges here at home tonight. Our Made in America Christmas is back tonight. The two young firefighters, two brothers, and their American invention, and the rest of their ideas now taking off from New Jersey to Montana to California, fighting fires and creating jobs. And remembering a popular entertainer on Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin, viewers loved him and his psychic powers.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the breaking news, the new turn in the murder of that CEO in New York City. Tonight, the NYPD revealing they now have forensic evidence tying suspect Luigi Mangione to the crime. And tonight, sources telling ABC News Mangione's family has now started to speak with investigators. Tonight, Mangione remains in a Pennsylvania jail after that outburst 24 hours ago, refusing extradition to New York. What authorities have revealed about the gun now and about a notebook full of Mangione's writings. Tonight, detectives consider it to be a confession. Also this evening, why authorities are growing increasingly concerned about people on social media appearing to celebrate the suspect. ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky leading us off again tonight.
As a completely out of touch, and as an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Accused killer Luigi Mangione may be fighting extradition in Pennsylvania, but investigators are building a murder case against him in New York. And tonight they say they have their first forensic match. From fingerprints on a water bottle and snack bar wrapper near the crime scene to the ghost gun police say was used to murder United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
We were able to match that gun to the 3 shell casings that we found in Midtown at the scene of the homicide.
Detectives also now have what they consider to be a confession, a spiral notebook that sources say contains plans for how to kill Thompson. What do you do? One passage allegedly read, you whack the CEO at the annual parasitic bean counter convention. It's targeted, precise, and doesn't risk innocence. Mangione's lawyer tells ABC News his client will plead not guilty, and he has seen none of this evidence.
We're challenging the extradition at this point so we can see some evidence and get a little more detailed information about the charges against Luigi.
Tonight, sources tell ABC News Mangione's family has started talking with investigators. His mother filed a missing persons report with police about 2 weeks before the murder. Mangione was once valedictorian at a prestigious boys' school.
I've still been in a little state of disbelief that this kid that I knew from high school 8 years ago is now the most high-profile killer, allegedly, in the country.
Now the NYPD is alarmed the alleged killer is seen by some as a martyr, inspiring these wanted posters outside the New York Stock Exchange with the names of other corporate executives. A new law enforcement bulletin obtained by ABC News includes this image of a banner invoking the words found on the shooter's bullets. The bulletin warns many social media users have outright advocated for the continued killings of CEOs, with some aiming to spread fear by posting hit lists.
What do you make of people celebrating
the murder of Brian Thompson, or someone who sees in the suspect someone to take inspiration from?
Celebrating this conduct is abhorrent to me. It's deeply disturbing. And what I would say to members of the public, people who, as you described, are celebrating this and maybe contemplating other action, that we will be vigilant and we will hold people accountable. We are at the ready.
We just got through speaking with the DA. David, they are really concerned about how this suspect is now being perceived by some, and they are prepared, especially after that outburst outside of court, they are prepared to take any threat stemming from the death of Brian Thompson seriously. David?
Aaron Katersky leading us off tonight here. Aaron, thank you. The other breaking headline late today, FBI Director Christopher Wray announcing he will resign at the end of the Biden administration amid pressure from President-elect Trump. Wray was actually appointed by Trump, and what he said today. Here's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, under pressure from President-elect Donald Trump, FBI Director Christopher Wray announcing he will resign in January, more than 2 years before his term was set to end.
I've decided the right thing for the Bureau is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down. This is the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray.
Trump himself appointed Wray in 2017, saying he would be a fierce guardian of the law and a model of integrity. But Trump soured on his pick after the FBI launched investigations into his efforts to overturn the 2020 election and alleged mishandling of classified information, agents discovering documents at his Florida home, in a storage room, in the ballroom, even a bathroom. Just days ago, saying this.
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home.
Trump had already announced plans to replace Wray with his loyal defender, Kash Patel. So for Wray, the writing was on the wall. Today, saying his decision wasn't easy, but it was right.
My focus is, and always has been, on us and on doing what's right for the FBI. Our adherence to our core values, our dedication to independence and objectivity, and our defense of the rule of law. Those fundamental aspects of who we are must never change.
Trump bluntly declaring the resignation of Christopher Wray is a great day for America. Patel, who's been meeting with senators on the Hill, once wrote the FBI has become so thoroughly compromised it will remain a threat to the people unless drastic measures are taken.
Mr. Patel, Christopher Wray just announced he's resigning. What's your reaction?
We look forward to a very smooth transition, and I'll be ready to go on day.
Are you going to be seeking retribution against Donald Trump's political opponents, sir?
But Democrats are concerned about the independence of the FBI.
There was a reason we put in place the idea that an FBI director would say serve for 10 years, so that you weren't subject to the whims of a particular president. Am I worried about that independence of the FBI? You bet.
David Kash Patel making the rounds on the Hill today, but there was another Trump nominee here as well. Pete Hegseth, his embattled pick for defense secretary, meeting with senators, including Republican Susan Collins. She told me they had a constructive, substantive meeting on a range of topics, including the allegations against him of excessive drinking, sexual misconduct, and financial mismanagement. But David, she's waiting to see his FBI background check.
Mary Bruce up on the Hill for us tonight. Mary, thank you. Next tonight here, a major storm slamming the Northeast as we're on the air this evening. High winds, heavy rain, flash flooding. Look at the radar tonight showing the storm barreling up the East Coast. 60 million Americans on alert from the Carolinas up to New York City to New England. In the West at this hour, red flag warnings remain in effect near Malibu. The Franklin fire still out of control. The evacuations, Dick Van Dyke among those evacuated. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee on all of this tonight for us. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. The flood and wind alerts are still up. We are in it right now with that front passing as we speak. So you can see on the radar where the heaviest rain, that yellow and orange, that's where you could see another 2 to 4 inches, and the same area gets it. Some spots have already had 2. And then the winds could still gust 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now, this is going to be replaced late tonight, early tomorrow with really cold air. So that is going to turn on the lake effect snow machine in western New York, a foot or 2, West Michigan as well, up to 3 feet, close to that Tug Hill Plateau. And finally, it's the wind chill. Sub-zero from Chicago to the north and even Tampa. In a cold weather advisory, there feels like just above freezing. David.
We can hear it hitting your umbrella tonight, Ginger. We'll see you first thing in the morning. Thank you. Tonight, hear the high-profile arrests of 3 brothers, including 2 who were top real estate brokers from New York City to Miami, arrested on federal sex trafficking charges, what authorities allege they did over many years. Here's Victor Akendo.
Tonight, prominent luxury realtors Oren Tal and their brother Alon Alexander arrested on federal sex trafficking charges, allegedly spanning more than a decade.
The Alexander brothers worked together and with others to repeatedly and violently drug, sexually assault, and rape dozens of female victims.
According to the indictment, the brothers arranged the sexual assaults in advance, at times using dating apps or social media to promise luxury experiences, international travel, and accommodations to lure and entice women to locations. Accusers telling police the Alexanders allegedly held them down and ignored screams and explicit requests to stop. They were arrested early this morning, our Miami affiliate WPLG capturing 2 of the brothers being booked. The Alexanders began their careers at Douglas Elliman, focusing on real estate in New York and Miami. David, the brothers live on Miami Beach. Their first appearance set for Thursday. David.
Victor Akendo live in Florida. Victor, thank you. There are serious questions tonight amid a growing number of drone sightings in the Northeast after weeks of mysterious drones, many coming in off the ocean. Federal authorities with no answers as to who's behind this. And tonight, authorities reacting after at least one lawmaker claimed it's Iran. Here's Ariel Reshef.
Tonight, officials in New Jersey sounding the alarm, now calling for immediate action by federal authorities against those mysterious drones in the skies for weeks now, with no answers about who is behind them.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
A Coast Guard ship also trailed.
One of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones.
Dozens of sightings reported since last month, including near sensitive military installations and President-elect Trump's Bedminster Golf Club, where he resides. Tonight, the Pentagon striking down unverified claims made by one lawmaker that Iran is behind those drones.
Our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
But one White House official telling ABC News they are not ruling out foreign involvement. David, here in New Jersey tonight, some lawmakers want to shut down the airspace to all drones until the public has some answers. David?
Ariel Reshef with us. Ariel, thank you. Overseas tonight into Syria and the desperate search for missing loved ones after the fall of President Bashar al-Assad. Tonight, our James Longman in Damascus at a hospital morgue where there are now images posted outside the morgue. Families from all over coming to see if they recognize the bodies, to see if they're loved ones who disappeared under Assad. We warn you, this is difficult. Here's James.
There's a desperate search across Syria tonight for the missing fathers, mothers, sons, daughters who simply vanished under Assad's brutal regime. On the wall outside this Damascus hospital, photos of corpses. Families gather to try and identify loved ones.
We're not going to get too close because it's incredibly graphic, but basically I'm looking at the skeletal remains of multiple human beings.
In the morgue, finding the truth brings no comfort.
I'm standing in a room full of dead bodies. There's 5 men in here. You can see hands, legs poking out of the bags. The smell is overwhelming. And people are coming in here trying to see if they recognize anyone. And this gentleman has found his son. Mr. James, I'm so sorry. This man's son is Mohammed. He's 20 years old, and he missed out on the revolution by 2 months. He was killed 2 months ago, and he's come to claim him.
A family's grief. Overwhelming. He has hope his surviving son will see a better Syria.
I asked him if he has hope in the future of Syria. He said, of course. And he's just hugged his son.
And David, tonight the rebels are vowing to track down those responsible for these crimes and hold them to account. David?
James Longman, our chief international correspondent. James, thank you. When we come back here, we remember a beloved entertainer, popular on Johnny Carson to Merv Griffin. Viewers loved him and his psychic abilities. And our Made in America Christmas is back. Tonight, the two young firefighters, two brothers, and their American invention. You'll see it right here in a moment. Don't go away. Tonight, the Wisconsin husband and father of three accused of faking his own kayaking death and then moving to Europe to meet a woman has been arrested now after returning to Green Lake County, Wisconsin. Prosecutors say Ryan Borgward staged his own drowning accident, then fled to the country of Georgia for months to begin a new life with another woman. The father is back now. He's pleaded not guilty to obstruction, authorities demanding he now pay for the cost of their search. When we come back here tonight, we remember a popular entertainer from Johnny Carson and Merv Griffin. Viewers loved him. And our Made in America Christmas is back tonight. What's your one thing? To the Index, we learned today that George Kresge Jr. has died, better known to generations as the Amazing Kreskin. The Mentalist, a longtime talk show favorite from Johnny Carson to Merv Griffin to Michael Douglas. He amazed audiences with his mind-blowing abilities, predicting events, guessing their personal details, famously asking crowds to hide his paycheck only for him to then find it. The Amazing Kreskin was 89. When we come back here tonight, our Made in America Christmas is back. Two young firefighters, two brothers and their invention. And we want your ideas, too. Finally tonight here, our great Made in America Christmas is back. Tonight, two firefighters, two brothers, fighting fires and fighting to create American jobs.
Tonight, our great Made in America Christmas is back. Our special series, 13 years and running now, celebrating small-town triumphs made in America. Tonight, the story of two young firefighters from New Jersey, brothers, who we found not in the firehouse, but in the factory. It turns out they spend just as much time here. We went to find them in Passaic, New Jersey, on this unassuming street, no big sign, but a lot of heart inside.
Plant entrance, here we go.
There to find those two brothers, a family tradition of firefighters, and a new tradition just beyond that American flag.
Good to see you. Jordan, good
nice
to meet you.
David.
Tyler, good to see you. A little Made in America Christmas.
100%.
Jordan and Tyler Lang are both working firefighters.
How many hours a week are you doing that?
So it's 48 hours a week.
Wow.
So it's a 24-hour shift.
And then how much time are you spending here?
A lot. Every other day.
Yeah.
And it all started with an idea in the Fire Academy.
This is a heat strap.
Their invention, a fire-resistant strap that firefighters attach to their gloves to keep from losing them in a fire. Jordan noticed how often they would drop their gloves when firefighters are trying to mask up. No longer.
When you get to the front door to mask up, you can take off your glove, do whatever you have to do, take your glove back on and put it on.
And now firefighters across the country sending them images wearing those heat straps.
This is Dad right here.
Yep.
Their late father, also a firefighter, encouraged them to pursue their Made in America idea. Their grandfather, a firefighter too.
We are third-generation firemen, the best job in the world.
And now those brothers have expanded. Made in America jackets and coats, shirts, all meant to last.
You're not going into the fire with them, but they're meant to survive, meant to last a long time.
Right. All we can do is just make the best product we possibly can. I get a lot of customers call and say thank you for what you do. Thank you for bringing this back. Yeah.
Some tough products from
yes.
A couple of tough brothers.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate that.
They call this their deck jacket.
This is all sourced here.
The sheepskin from Texas, the wool from Connecticut, hand-dyed and sewn in New Jersey.
All right, let's try this out. I'm ready for my upstate winter.
100%.
Yeah.
This is their chief coat.
We have a lot of firemen around the country wearing this garment in particular. Our heaviest duty tour coat. This is a 24-ounce wax canvas.
The woolen lumberjacket.
This is a 36-ounce raw American sourced spun dyed wool.
Their aim to make jackets and coats the way they used to be.
This says it all too right here, right?
Yep. We take a lot of pride in, making things here. Like I said, I get phone calls all the time.
And one of those calls from the cattle ranchers at the Brooks Family Ranch in Ronan, Montana.
Hi, David. Welcome to Montana.
Beautiful big sky country and some beautiful Made in America.
Some good heat straps clothing. It's built like a tank.
Cattle rancher Brandon Brooks.
Wax canvas, cuts the wind, fights the rain. Wool lining keeps you warm.
The brothers telling me they travel all across this country to thank their customers and to see how far their clothes are traveling. While back in the corner of that small New Jersey factory, those firefighters ready to answer the call with their coats, their company heat straps, made in the USA.
We're rooting for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Same to you.
We love Made in America. Their dad and granddad would be proud. We'll stay on it through Christmas. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.